Hello, my name is Peter, and I just want to talk about an article I saw in the Stourbridge News on May 28, 2009. Editorial news. It's got new bosses at Town Hall. This is Dudley Town Hall, and on it there's a picture with the old mayor, the mayor, but I'm referring to the new leader and deputy leader, Anne Millward and Les Jones, right? That's what I'm referring to. Now, I know Les Jones from the pub, and I know his wife too. Had I not seen her, I wouldn't know. You know, I'd be oblivious to who she was, or anything, or her name. But I did know her surname. Well, I thought it was Jones, you know, as you do. However, she goes by her maiden name, Shakespeare, like the writer. Maybe she comes from Stratford-on-Avon. I don't know. No, I think she comes from this area. Anyway, she goes by the name of Karen Shakespeare, and Les Jones goes by the name of Les Jones. They're not husband and wife, but they are husband and wife. You know what I mean? They're both on Dudley Council, and to me, I'm not really bothered about that fact. What I'm bothered about is the fact that they deceive people. If you deceive people, it's like these MPs. Now, if Les Jones was to stand for government as an MP, and in later life the papers got wind of it, which they do nowadays, he could topple the government. You know, that's what I'm. You know, it's the fact that he's deceiving people. I don't like that. I like to be honest and open. Actually, I sent an email to both the Conservative Party and the Labour Party to be equal, you know, about this. And this is what happens, you see. If you rock the boat, things happening to you. I was out without internet connection for a week. I wonder why that was. Somebody didn't like what I said, you know. But you see, when you deceive people, it's in a later day, if he was to get in government, the Conservatives get in government next time, I think he could topple a government with something as little as that, you know, because you've deceived the people. I used to go to a pub which Les Jones and Karen Shakespeare went to. They were more or less, well, I wouldn't say good friends, but I said hello to her and spoke to her, you know, and this, that and the other, you know, on a regular basis. I used to go in there for a couple of pints. The dog used to drag me in there, and I was glad for the sit down, to be honest with you. The dog loved it, my little dog. I used to have a little Yorkie dog. She had diabetes, and she eventually went blind, and I had to have her put to sleep, more's the pity. She meant everything to me in my life. I loved her to bits, and I do still think of her, you know, daft as it sounds. And I have said in the past that I thought more of her than I did of my ex-wife. But my ex-wife is very good with me. She has come and looked after me whilst I've been ill, and we're good friends, and I sincerely mean friends. I can trust her, and there's not many people I do trust. Anyway, getting back to this, the business of me going in this pub. I won't mention the pub's name, but it's on the Agley Road, and it's just opposite Mary Stevens Hospice, and there's only one pub there. And anyway, I used to go there regular, and I used to speak to the people and this, that and the other, and anyway, they were having this big fete, and they were having an auction, and I said, I've got a fishing rod there that I've not used, brand new. I'll put that in the auction for you, especially if it's going to Mary Stevens Park, you get 20 or 30 pound for it. I'll be quite happy, it's only wasting away in the cupboard. Anyway, on the day there weren't many people there. I said to Karen Shakespeare was on one of the stalls, and I turned round to her and said, well, if you'd have mentioned it, I could have got a friend to put it on TV and on local radios and all. Oh, we didn't want to do that, she said. I said, well, why not? The more people that come, the more money it's generated, surely. And she said, no, it's only for the regulars. I said, well, I bought tickets for here. I paid £5 or £10 a ticket I paid. I don't know, I think it was £10 a ticket. I even bought the dog a ticket. I did, in case she fancied any meat. I thought I'd get her some meat, so I bought her a ticket. Not just my own. She never had none. We had to go home, I got, anyway, just to get back to this, not many tickets were sold. I think they only sold about 20 tickets. Everybody just come in and helped themselves. There was no sort of, and I said to this Karen Shakespeare, that, and then a bit later on, the landlord come to me. He said, we've had complaints about you upsetting the people, and the only thing I could think about is that I spoke to her and Karen Shakespeare, and that's how nasty they can be. And I thought, well, one day I'll pay the compliment back. And what they did, they did me a favour really, because I was sick of going to the pub. I'm not really a drinker, but it was the fact that the dog, when we went past the pub, she pulled me in. She didn't want to go, so I went to the pub for the dog. The dog gave me lots of pleasure, daft as that sounds. And that Karen Shakespeare, because I mentioned the fact that she'd done wrong, and the fact she'd done wrong and not advertising it, so lots of people, came. Also, that's what I would have liked to have seen, 1,000 people there. That would have been more, but no, she wanted to keep it for the locals, the ones that went in the pub. Well, that's not the way you use a charity, I wouldn't trust Karen Shakespeare or that Les Jones as far as I could throw them, because I tell you what, they got me barred from that pub. I never did a thing. I never said boo to no one. Only Karen Shakespeare I said, and she got me banned from that pub. And Les Jones, they got me banned, and now I'm paying the compliment back, and that's because my little dog loved going in there, and they stopped that. And all I can say is thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Jones.